Welcome to Miss.sheeena's world. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
This picture is not edited whatsoever. This is Ariana Grande at her first show of the Eternal Sunshine Tour yesterday in Oakland. And obviously many people are talking about this on social media, but the problem is there are so many fans of hers that are defending her and going at people that are, concerned about this. Saying things like that's body shaming and that we all need to be body positive. But in my opinion, you can only be so body positive. It gets to a point where this is very harmful. And when I first saw this photo, I thought it was edited. A lot of people edited photos of her, during the Wicked press tour. And I thought this was just another case of that. But no, this is 100% real. And here are the dates for the tour. And it goes all the way until September 1st. I'm just concerned she won't have the stamina to get there. Food is fuel for our bodies, and that's why a lot of people are concerned that she might faint at one of these shows. Especially in a concert venue where things get really hot, and if you're moving around a lot, your body temperature is going to go up.
I would love for nothing more than to come on here and talk about all the different looks that Ariana Grande is wearing on this tour. She's being styled by La Roche. This is like my favorite album, low-key, of all time. Like, Eternal Sunshine actually changed my life. But I literally feel like I just can't. Like, I literally can't. And I would never even talk about this. I would never even, I'm not gonna speculate about anything, but at the end of the day, I love Ariana Grande as an artist. I grew up with her. I love her. So many people love her. I genuinely think she's one of the most talented people alive, working. She is an icon to me. She is everything to me. I love her. If anything bad happened to her, I would be crushed. Call it parasocial. Call it whatever you want. I would be crushed. I love her as a pop girly. Again, Eternal Sunshine changed my life as an album. And I think the one thing that bothers me about this conversation that I feel like I just need to put my opinion out there about is that people are saying, and she herself has said, when you talk about me and you compare me now to previous times in my life, you're comparing a very unhealthy version of myself then versus now, where I eat very clean and, whatever, I'm healed and whatever. People keep throwing this, topic around and referencing what she herself has even said. At the end of the day, I can only hope that she's, happy now. Again, it's a fan of hers. I think most people want that for her. I think, honestly, most of the conversation right now is just purely concern. And I think at the end of the day, a lot of people just want her to be happy. So in that regard, I hope it's true. But at the end of the day, I also genuinely think you could have been going through a lot in previous points and really suffering mentally in a different way than this. I don't necessarily think that they are completely related. People are saying, oh, she didn't cry during this song on this tour and she's cried singing it during every other tour. Okay, that really doesn't mean anything. Again, you can have been through therapy, healed from certain things, while also be struggling with other things. It's really not related like that. And I feel at the end of the day, again, I want to take what she says at her word, but also in my head, I'm just thinking, yeah, okay, you could have been eating junk food then, but does that necessarily mean that this is healthy? You know what I mean? Maybe you were being unhealthy in terms of eating habits then, but are you also now? That's what I think. And I just love her. She's wearing some very interesting looks on this tour. She's wearing Givenchy and Alexander McQueen and these fab custom Louboutins and love. But I really love her, and I almost I don't think anyone would be mad if the tour stopped, I just, oh my God,
I am predicting that she will not be able to continue performing. I would say, honestly, I would give it 2 weeks. My name is Pamela. I'm a mental health clinician, and this is where pop culture and mental health meet. Because you have to consider her body is operating in a caloric deficit. Dancing and singing on stage, that's a lot of physical exertion. Her just quitting would be the best outcome. She could potentially die from this. There have been many musicians who have had cardiovascular attacks while on stage, because when you have a vulnerable cardiovascular system with people who are malnourished due, performing spikes your adrenaline, which increases your heart rate and your blood pressure. And then you have the intense physical exertion that performing on stage demands. You know, sometimes the stage is hot, you're singing, you're dancing, sometimes people are sweating. That is not a good combination for a vulnerable cardiovascular system. And you also have, you know, she's already unhealthy, but then you have the additional stressor of like the touring lifestyle, which and I would wager to guess the reason she is doing this is because she's out of money. And I also would not be surprised if there are many mouths to feed who are on her team, who are invested in keeping her vertical for the hour or whatever that she's on stage, and she's probably being pumped with to get on stage, and then she's probably pumped with drugs to sleep. This would be my guess as someone with a health background. This is not safe. And also, the other thing is, some mental health conditions, you have to kind of just learn to live with it. Like if you have anxiety, if you're nervous on a bus and you have to take a bus to work, you kind of have to learn to live with it. Anorexia nervosa is not like that. Your body is not just going to learn to live with a caloric deficit. Your cardiovascular system isn't just going to learn to live with an arrhythmia. You will die. Anorexia nervosa is the most lethal psychiatric condition, and this is not good news. And I just wanted to make a video because I just want to inform people that this is it's truth that is trying to be sold to you, that you can be this unhealthy and get on stage and be totally fine. All you have to do is Google musicians who died while on stage. Like basically all of them died from a heart attack, and that's what she, I think, very at risk of by doing this. Anyways, let me know in the comments what you guys think.
I used to be a physical therapist, and one of the most important factors for any performer or athlete going through a tour or a season is having the strength, the endurance, the soft tissue, and the nutrition to make it through that entire time. And we often see performers lose weight and muscle mass over the course of a tour because of that lifestyle. We saw it with Doja Cat in 2021. And so I'm very surprised that Ariana's healthcare team let her start the tour this way.
I've tried to find a million different ways to say this, and none of them came out good. But I'm to the point where I'm really starting to get like true concern and fear for Ari. I've never seen her to the point where you can see both of the bones right here in both her shoulders. And for her to be actively on tour like that and exerting the energy she has left, it for me, it's getting harder and harder to watch. And the reason it's gotten to where I'm even like saying anything is because I'm watching these videos of her concerts. And yes, you see people here and there who say, okay, this is starting to get scary. This is getting concerning. Has her PR team said anything like what's going on? Like, yes, you see them here and there, but most of the people are just like glazing over it. Like, we're crazy. Like, we don't see the same thing. Like, I get it that you don't want to shame anybody's body. You want people to be body positive. You don't want them to feel bad about the way that they look and make the situation even worse. But in my mind, I'm watching her deteriorate, like, as she's performing. And the fact that people are just like praising how great the performance is and how great everything is going. Like, what happens if she collapses on that stage and never gets back up? What happens then? We just gonna be sitting there looking stupid? I understand that people go through medical things which can cause them to look like that, or whatever the case may be. But out of all things for her to be doing right now a tour just does not seem like a good idea.
Am I allowed to talk about it yet? Like, are we allowed to talk about it yet? I already tried to post a video like this before and it got like completely shut down by TikTok. So I'm going to be speaking very delicately in this version. But Ariana Grande's Eternal Sunshine tour started last night and I can't even look at the pictures and videos that have come out of it because they are so triggering for me. This is one of my favorite artists of all time, and I cannot even enjoy her tour videos because I can so clearly see what's happening. And we are being encouraged to pretend like what's right in front of us isn't what's happening. I'm going to show you a picture of what she looked like during the Positions era just a few years ago. And this is not to shame or to body check her, but it is literally just to say, this is not healthy, and it's so obvious to me and so many people seeing it, and it's really upsetting that I feel like I'm not allowed to talk about it. She looks like she's just a sneeze away from being Karen Carpenter. If you know, you know. She's always been tiny, okay? But on a person this small, even just like a half a pound is going to make a huge difference. So initially when the whole conversation was happening, when she made the Instagram video where she said, I don't want people speaking about my body online, I was like, oh yeah, of course, queen. Because at that time, I didn't notice anything. I was like, I don't even really know what anyone is talking about. But now this is just literally so obvious that it's like, how is there no one around her who is trying to help her? How is she going to make it through an entire tour like this? The dances are very low energy. She's not singing with as much power as she's ever sang with before. Like, she looks like she's going to blow away. I can see her sternum. Like, I can see her humerus bone through her skin. I've never seen these bones on a human person on stage before. I'm going to have to look away. Like, I'm going to have to stop paying attention because I genuinely cannot see this imagery and not be sent back to the place where I was in this same mindset. It's really a situation where all I can do is pray that something will change.
The body that you've been comparing my current body to was the unhealthiest version of my body. I was on a lot of antidepressants and drinking on them and eating poorly, and at the lowest point of my life when I looked the way you consider my healthy, but that in fact wasn't my healthy. We should be gentler and less comfortable commenting on people's bodies, no matter what. If you think you're saying something good or well-intentioned, whatever it is.